Look at the device in your hand right now. The screen you're staring at. The code that brought this video to your eyes. You probably think this technology comes from Silicon Valley, from billionaires and garages. That is the story we are told. But the truth is much darker. The machine you are using was born in the mind of a man who was illegal just for existing. A man who shortened World War II by 2 years, saved 14 million lives, and was rewarded not with a medal, but with a poisoned apple. If you think you know the story of how the war was won, you're wrong. It wasn't won by soldiers. It was won by a ghost. The Shadow War. His name was Alan Turing. In 1939, while the world was marching toward the bloodiest slaughter in history, Turing was on a train to a Victorian estate called Bletchley Park. To the outside world, it was a radio factory. Inside, it was a pressure cooker of smoke, whispers, and terror. The Nazis had a weapon they believed was unstoppable. The Enigma machine. A device that scrambled messages into millions of jagged combinations. It was the voice of the German army, and it was unbreakable. Every sinking ship, every bombing raid, every death was hidden behind that code. The generals said it was impossible. The math was too complex. But Turing didn't see math. He saw puzzles. He was socially awkward, stuttering, a man who preferred numbers to people. His colleagues called him Prof. But they looked at him with suspicion. Why? Because Alan Turing didn't fit in. He was eccentric. He chained his tea mug to the radiator, so no one would steal it. He ran through the halls in a gas mask to avoid hay fever. But in the shadows of Hut 8, he was building something. A beast. A massive, ticking, clicking monster copper and wire. The bomb. While others tried to solve the puzzle with human minds, Turing realized something profound. To defeat a machine, you need a machine. The moment of triumph. Imagine the sound. The rhythmic, deafening click-clack-click of the rotors spinning, searching for the one true setting that would unlock the German secrets. Day after day, silence, failure, the weight of dead soldiers piling up on his conscience. And then it stopped. The rotors aligned. The code broke. Suddenly, the British knew where the U-boats were. They knew when the bombs would fall. Turing had cracked the uncrackable wall. He had handed the Allies the keys to the Third Reich. General Eisenhower later said that without Turing, the invasion of Normandy would have failed. He was the savior of the free world. But when the war ended, there were no parades for Alan Turing. There were no headlines. The work at Bletchley was classified ultra-secret. He was forced to burn his notes. He packed up his life and walked back into the fog of civilian England, an anonymous hero. But he carried a secret far more dangerous than the Enigma code, the betrayal. You see, Alan Turing was a gay man in 1950s Britain, and in the eyes of the government he had just saved, his love was a crime. It was gross indecency. The betrayal didn't come with a bang. It came with a burglary. Turing reported a petty theft at his home. When the police arrived, they weren't interested in the burglar. They were interested in the another man found in Turing's house. The interrogation turned cold. They didn't care about his mind. They didn't care about the millions of lives he saved. They only cared about who he loved. He was arrested. The man who defeated Hitler was stripped of his dignity, fingerprinted, and treated like a common predator. The judge gave him a choice that echoes with medieval cruelty. Go to prison and rot. Or probation on the condition that he undergo organotherapy, chemical castration. The government ordered him to take synthetic estrogen. They wanted to cure him. They wanted to kill the part of him that made him human. The slow death. He chose the drugs. He wanted to keep working. He wanted to keep thinking. But the chemicals ravaged him. His body changed. He grew breasts. He became impotent. The brilliant, sharp mind that had outsmarted the Nazis began to fog over. A deep, hollow depression settled into his bones. He was watched by agents. He was considered a security risk because his sexuality made him vulnerable to blackmail. The hero had become the enemy. On June 7, 1954, Alan Turing decided the equation could no longer be solved. He didn't use a gun. He didn't use a rope. He went to his kitchen and prepared an apple. He injected it with cyanide, like a scene from Snow White, his favorite fairy tale. He took one bite. The man who invented the computer, the man who saved your grandfather from the Nazis, died alone in his bed, foaming at the mouth, killed by the very society he protected. The full circle. For decades, his story was erased, buried in classified files. But history, like a code, eventually reveals itself. It took until 2009 for the British government to apologize. It took until 2013 for the Queen to grant him a pardon. A pardon, as if he was the one who needed forgiveness. Today, the world is run by the machines Turing dreamed of. Artificial intelligence, encryption, the digital brain, all flows from him. Some say the logo of the biggest tech company in the world, an apple with a single bite taken out of it, is a tribute to him, a silent nod to the man who took the poison bite, so the rest of us could taste the future. Whether that is true or myth, the irony remains. We use his genius to build our modern world, while we destroyed the man who gave it to us. So, the next time you unlock your phone, remember Alan Turing. Remember that the digital light on your face was born from the darkness of a lonely room by a hero who died branded a criminal. They broke his body, but they could never break his code.